Okay, so I'm making another video. I just want to talk about how sometimes we are one way in life and how others perceive us. I know my beard is wild. I'm growing it out. I'm gonna get it done soon. I know it's wild. Just give me your grace, guys. Give me grace. So I know, like in life we're one way, but then sorry, let me get this camera. We're one way, but then in life we're one way, but then we're perceived as another way in life, and it can be very frustrating too sometimes when people tell us who they think we are, and we're like, whoa, that can be further from the truth. Like, I know it irritates us sometimes, and especially irritates me. I don't know what this video is supposed to do. Maybe give some people who are going through something similar some comfort or something, or some reassurance. So me, like oftentimes how I'm perceived is I'm the type of guy that if I don't have to fight, I won't. But if I do, I will, and I choose to walk away from problems a lot. I'm not a person that tries to stand out and tries to like grab attention like how some guys are. I'm not a person that puts on all this male bravado, even though I have confidence, but my confidence is about how I look. It's about how I feel about myself, my self-esteem, like how I feel about my personality and who I am as a person, and how my physical appearance is. That is where my confidence stems from. A lot of other guys have so much going on. They think they got to be loud to be seen, to be validated. They think they got to look they got to look a certain way, be extra, just make it known that they are in the room. And that's never been me. I've always chosen to be kind to people. I've always chosen to, walk away from confrontation. I've always chosen to avoid conflict. I've always chosen to, if I don't have to fight, I won't. But if I do, I have to, I've always been sweet to people. I've always been considerate, been empathetic, been compassionate, I choose to treat people how I would want to be treated, even though not everybody adheres to that, but in certain ways, like, because it is, I've been perceived as somebody that I guess isn't assertive or something like that, which is not true. Somebody that is antisocial. I've been perceived as antisocial for whatever reason, even though that's never been the case for me in my life. I may be moody at times, but that doesn't mean I'm antisocial. I've been told like I like anime or something, or I've been like, people have like led on to like say that I like watching anime, even though there's nothing wrong with people who watch anime, but I haven't watched an anime cartoon since I was 7 years old because I find it to be very boring and just not my taste. I just been perceived as this, and I've been perceived as, even like my own therapist. Like, I remember actually telling her, like, I grew up getting in a lot of fights with a lot of other children in school and in my neighborhood, and she, like, at another session, even though not that it's not her fault, but I guess she just forgot or something. I don't know. I like my therapist a lot, but like, it was another situation where we had a session and she was like, oh yeah, you just never fought and you chose, she didn't say something, but like she insinuated, oh, you never fought, like you never fought a day in your life, you didn't like fighting. And I was just like, what? Like, I never said that. And it doesn't, like, I have a baby face too, so I get that adds on to it. So like, I know I'm talking really fast. I'm trying to get this out. So I've always chosen to like, no, I was back to my therapist. So it's just like, I was just thinking, like, why would she say that? Like, didn't I tell her in one session I was always in fights growing up? And that really comes back to something that I Googled about how appearance is everything. Whatever people perceive you as, they have some type of internal bias. I think it's called confirmation bias. And like, it may not be true, but whatever they pick up from interactions with you, they try to get it confirmed, through that way. So I guess people have had that with me because I have a baby face, and I choose to be like good to people. I choose to treat people how I would want to be treated. And I guess they picked that up for me, you know, but that's never been the case, not the case in the slightest. I guess people, you know, they say they treat kindness as weakness or something like that, or whatever they perceive, you know, something like that. They think like, oh, because I'm a sweet guy, I'm being passive or something like that. Whatever they think, you know, because that all relates to being passive. That's never been the case for me. I've always taken charge in my life. And I remember like being age 10 years old and approaching women I found attractive at age 10. So I've been approaching women for like over like 15 years, because I'm 20, no, like at least 18 years, 19 years, almost 20 years, because I'm like about to be 28. So I've been approaching who I was interested in since I was that age. And I've approached guys too, because I like both. Like I've always taken charge in my life, so it always kind of annoyed me how I was perceived as this, when that's like the opposite. Am I sweet? Am I empathetic? Am I compassionate? Am I kind? Yes. But don't mistake that for weakness, and don't think I'm this person that's passive, that doesn't take charge, you know, because that's never been the case for me. And yeah, so I remember like, and I've been through the talking stages. I've been through a lot of talking stages in my life. I've always like, with dating, I've always been through talking stages. I've always approached people I wanted to be friends with. Like I've invited people to come to my house for parties. Like I've always tried my best. I've never not lived my life to the fullest and left myself thinking about what if I did this, what if I did that. Sorry, it's a fly in my house. What if I took that chance, you know? Never been me. So it always would get me like in my head internally, like, why am I perceived this way? Why are people saying all this stuff about me? Why do people think this way about me? And I feel like I've come to the conclusion, I really want to discuss it with my therapist some more, but I've come to the conclusion that I can't help how people perceive me, you know? And even though it still aggravates me from time to time, but I really got to just let go. If they choose to not to get to know me, like, then that's their problem. Like, it's none of my business. Like, and I shouldn't care, and you shouldn't either, you know? And it sucks that this happens in life, you know? And I'm not saying I want to be perceived as a bad boy, and that's not how I want to be perceived, but it's still, I would like to be perceived as just a regular person, you know, but it still gets me though that people have all these assumptions about me, and it's like it's the furthest from the truth like it can be. Like, and like, I know I've lived my life to the fullest at the end of the day. You know, I do still have questions about why things haven't worked out sometimes in my favor, but it never was because I didn't take the chance. And, you know, yeah, so I just put what people think about you to the side, you know, because it's not your fault, you know. We can't help how we're perceived. You know, we can correct people, but like, yeah, that's all you got to do is put it to the side. That's what I got to tell myself, you know. And but it still does get to me sometimes, because I'm like, I like talk to people and I'm like blown away about how they think about me, or about who they think I am, or what they think I do in my life. Like, it blows me away sometimes. But yeah, just put it to the side, because we can't help how we're perceived.